understanding the rivalry is different than
treating it as such.
yes, and like feeling it, I guess, right? And that goes back to what Cersei was talking about earlier about being homegrown. Because A, you don't have to be told. B, you can feel it. That's why you don't have to be told. Whereas, I mean, I can tell you all you want. You know, like last night you play basketball, and I can be like, "Hey, we really hate those guys." You know, like we play them every year. And if you're new to the team, you're like, "Okay, good to know." I mean, you're not gonna have the same anger because you didn't play against. You know, I had guys even like indoor, you know, like in this freaking like over 35 league, because I play like an angry man at all times. I mean, there are times where you're like, oh, that asshole from the like 3 weeks ago. I mean, it's just like, you know, like you build a rivalry because you play against the same guy multiple times and he's irked you multiple times, or you've had like an ongoing rivalry and stuff like that. I feel like that's kind of gone. It's the same thing with NFL, and I think it's a lot of guys changing teams because I can play against your team. I don't know about in basketball. Maybe I can be a point guard or something. But a ball boy at best. But you know, like we might be like, "Hey man, what's up?" Like after the game or something like that. So I think that's what's happening in NFL. You're just like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going? How do you like it in like San Diego?" Like it's just like that's like the conversation. But to me, as a fan, it feels like, oh, so I mean, maybe because I can switch it on and off like that easily. Are
Yeah.
these guys so pros that they're like on off?
Maybe. I mean, it feels like when you were just mentioning that, it almost feels like two coworkers, let's say in sales jobs that you kind of go against each other every quarter. But then they're talking to each other at the water cooler every chance that they get. They're both really good at what they're doing, but at the same time they're like, yeah, whatever. This is gonna sound probably really insensitive, but I guess
Drum roll.
I guess these athletes are also human beings and just want to have fun and don't care about winning as much as some other athletes do. I don't
But
know.
that goes back to your like when we were talking about the competitiveness. You would
Yeah, to get
right?
to that point, but then once you're at that point and you're making 40-50 million dollars a year, it might be okay to lose a couple games and shake some hands, because at the end of the day you're coming home and you have generational wealth. So